Hey guys, and welcome to Fire Emblem Part 3. I'm sorry this hasn't, it's been a little while since I last posted. It's been about 3 weeks. That's because I had to finish, doing online school, and I went on a, 5-day backpacking trip. So, yeah, with that we're gonna start off with Corrin. Corrin is probably the most dragon out of all of the Fire Emblem characters. Corrin is part human and part dragon. But they can't entirely use, dragon stuff, just because of reasons, and we'll get into that in a minute. But anyway, part human, part dragon, keep that in mind. We're kind of in a weird spot, because Fire Emblem Fates is, Kingdom A and Kingdom B are fighting over, territory and stuff, but Corrin belongs to both of them! Yay! So, anyway, Corrin is of Nor and Hoshido royalty, even though neither of that is true. Freaking awesome chainsaw sword is the Yato. The Yato, kind of similar to the Falchion, it chooses its wielder, and it is the strongest sword in the game of which it comes from. It chooses its wielder, it lights up in rainbow's colors, yada yada yada. It's an impressive. The reason Corrin belongs to two royalties, the Hoshido and the Yato, the Nor, is because as a child, Corrin was born, and then their dad was like, yo, I gotta go do some dragon business, and he left, and then Corrin's mother went and married one of the royalty families, I can't remember which, and then Corrin got kidnapped, by the other, so it kind of belonged to both, but at the same time not really. Really complicated, so yeah. That's why they belong to two royal families. Personality-wise, Corrin is really good with animals, because growing up she lived in the woods and with her siblings and such. They're very social and they care about each other. Even if in the game if you pick the Nor royalty, Corrin will still feel empathy and good feelings towards the Hoshido or vice versa. She loves her family. She likes spending time with others. She's not they can't really command huge large forces just because they're not super social or good at it. They are very quick to trust others, so that can lead to some downfall in the Fire Emblem games. Corrin also tends to oversleep a lot, and they can play the piano. It's pretty cool. They're also very strongly willed in everything that they do. They're always going to set their mind to it, and they're going to go follow through with it. And from some of the other characters in the game, Corrin is said to be the one with the most hidden potential, just because of their abilities and such. Let's talk about Corrin's dragon-y side. So like I said before, Corrin is part human, part dragon, and the type of dragon she is a silent dragon. Now, silent dragons are a little special, per se. They have the power over water, and they can manipulate it, they can use it to heal and see into the future. They just have a lot of power over water. However, since Corrin is a mixed race of sorts, they can't exactly use the full extent of silent dragon powers, but they still can turn into a dragon, which is a pretty formidable thing to do, and it's also kind of it's a little scary if you think about it, because Corrin automatically gets bumped up towards the top of the Fire Emblem characters because they are part dragon. Fun fact, the reason Corrin is barefoot is, in the original Fire Emblem games, the 3D ones, the newer ones, not Shadow Dragon, but towards Ike and such, couldn't really animate feet very well. The models just wouldn't allow it. So when they got to Fates, they decided to have the main character be barefoot because they could actually animate feet and shoes and stuff. Because before, all their characters just kind of sank into the ground and they didn't have feet or anything. So that is why Corrin is barefoot. So that's pretty much Corrin in a nutshell. Like I said before with Robin, gender doesn't exactly matter too much between the male and female version. However, the personalities are slightly different between the two. So that is Corrin in a nutshell. Next up, we will talk about the Professor, Byleth. Byleth is definitely one of the strangest, if not the strangest, Fire Emblem character, because they have a lot of power but zero personality. That's why they're pretty flexible when it comes to just pretty much anything. And if they were to fall in battle, they have this ability called Divine Pulse, which allows them to go back at up to 5 turns, because it's an RPG based on, like, Square. Then go back 5 turns if they fall in battle. So, like, if someone were to die and you, like, liked that person, and you could go, like, okay, we're going back in time 5 turns to when they didn't die. So, that's kind of an OP stat, or attack, not really a stat. And then, they can learn a lot of advanced spells, and really it's kind of just all over the place, because there are different routes in Three Houses that you can take. There's, like, Golden Deer, Blue Lion, Ravenclaw. I don't know. I really don't know anything really about Three Houses. I've only seen a little bit of Golden Deer gameplay. Not too much, though, to, like, actually, like, make this a solid video. I'm so sorry. Personality-wise, Byleth is emotionless. They can't tell a friend from an ally, usually. They're also, like, very, like, anti-receptive to things, I guess. You have to, like, build a personality for this character, because they have Sothis infused into Byleth. It's complicated. Greatest accomplishments-wise, Byleth does wield the divine weapons, which are, like, forged, from the gods to, like, and they have immense power, and they're OP, pretty much, compared to, like, the Falchion, almost. I'm not so sure, probably the Falchion and the Yato. They've defeated countless monsters along their journey, like, as a unit, whatever class you're in, you're going for. They've defeated countless monsters. They have the Divine Pulse, so after that 5th time, you can't use it anymore. They also beat Rhea in dragon form, which is pretty impressive as is, because she's a little overpowered, per se. She's not probably as strong as, like, Naga and Tiki, but pretty much up there. They've also defeated Rhea outside of her dragon form, as well as Edelgard in her, like, I don't know, Gordon Ramsay-ish kind of form. And in one of the endings, Byleth does become the leader of Greg Monarch Monastery. Byleth is actually kind of similar to Ike, in the sense that, they're mercenaries, they're really big eaters. That's the only personality trait Byleth really has. They like to eat. Also with accomplishments and such, Byleth did go missing for 5 years and was found in a river, so it's kind of up to speculation of what happened between that 5-year period. However, if they fell in the river for 5 years, that's impressive. We're gonna talk about Sothis and Byleth and their crazy situation in which they are a part of. So, a little backstory. So, Byleth's mother was descended from a race that Sothis created, because she is a goddess of sorts. And, she holds this, like, crest thing that, wields, like, the soul of Byleth. And it's called the Crest of Flames, right? And so when Byleth was born, they were stillborn, with no heartbeat, and no pulse, and nothing. And Rhea was there, and she was like, hey, I can save your baby. However, in order to do that, I kind of need to, like, steal the crest out of your soul to save your baby. And Byleth's mother was okay with it. So, Byleth has the Crest of Flames in them, and they have no heartbeat, they have no pulse, they got nothing. And they're pretty much just, like, bonded to Sothis, this, like, goddess of the land, this Fire Emblem lore. Anyway, Sothis is, a little bit of a crazy daisy, let's say. She does allow Byleth to use Divine Pulse, which can actually, it's really overpowered, to be honest. That's kind of, like, the main thing Sothis, and Sothis Byleth have together. In one of the endings, Byleth can lose Sothis, and they regain a heartbeat. However, they can't use, like, Divine Pulse, and they're completely cut off from one another, just because. And really, Fire Emblem Three Houses is kind of like, oh, we need to help, like, Sothis come back and, like, defeat Rhea, and, like, keep the peace between all the kingdoms and stuff at the monastery. So, that is Byleth, pretty much in a nutshell. It's kind of scattered nutshell, just because I am not very good at this. Henceforth, we shall discuss who the strongest Fire Emblem character is, and who will be moving along to the secondary round of who is the best character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, speed, strength, abilities, greatest feats, and etc, 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 etc. So, with that, I will turn the time over to you.
Why, thank you.
Alrighty, we have come to the conclusion of Fire Emblem. So, which character will be moving along, you may ask? Well, we'll get to that in just a second. As I said in the first part of this, it is kind of hard to do Fire Emblem, just because, they usually fight as a unit, and as a unit, they do stuff, and they defeat monsters, and, like, kill dragons. So it was a little bit difficult that way, but it was also a little bit actually easier than some of the other ones, because they're all kind of the same gameplay based, so it was easy to be like, okay, if they can do this and this and this. Pretty much, I spent like, probably like 4 months trying to figure out which one was the best Fire Emblem character, just because it was a little bit challenging. That being said, here is my, like, best attempt, per se, at putting these in order. Like I said before, I also haven't played any Fire Emblem games. I've talked with people, I've watched a little bit of gameplay here and there, but here we go, my best shot. Starting with the bottom, we have Roy. So I put Roy at the bottom just because he doesn't have like too many accomplishments on him. He is a good swordsman, he did defeat a dragon, but like almost everyone on this list has. So that's why Roy is not our boy and he is at the bottom. So I put Lucina, just because, again, she's kind of like, doesn't have too many things to her. She did defeat the Fell Dragon, which put her above Roy. Other than that, I would have put her below Roy, just because she doesn't have exactly like too much to her. Immediately after Lucina, I put Chrom, just because Chrom is a little more experienced than Lucina. They also defeated the Fell Dragon Grimwall, whatever his name is. I also just kind of put him here because he taught Lucina everything she knows, so I figured he might be a little bit stronger than Lucina, but they could easily be flipped. After Chrom, I put Marth. I put Marth here just because, well, he is the hero king of the Altea, but, he's defeated a dragon, but that's kind of about it. He's, like, defeated a dragon. Everyone higher has either defeated a dragon and has extra abilities. Marth is, kind of the top of the lower half of the characters. So, that is our boy Marth. After Marth, I put Robin. Just because they have a good amount of magic abilities, and they were also infused with the Fell Dragon in the first place, so Robin has a little bit of an advantage that way. And they also use like magic and spells pretty frequently, and they also defeated the dragon thing as well. After Robin, I put Corrin, just because Corrin has her they have their dragon stuff that they can do, and since they are a dragon, I'm pretty sure they could outwit a little bit of the other Fire Emblem swordsmen. And just because they have the... Oh, I also forgot to mention, Corrin has this terrain alteration ability where they can alter the terrain of wherever they're fighting. I completely missed that while filming Corrin. I think... Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just leaves us with 2. We have Byleth, and then we have Ike. So our second place belongs to Byleth. Just because Byleth is infused with Sothis does kind of make them a little bit of a top tier for a good start. But they can lose the power of Sothis if they lose the Crest of Flames, which is in them 3 houses. So anyway, Byleth gets there. And with the Divine Pulse, you can only use it, like, 5 times, so really, who's gonna be able to kill Byleth 5 times with their really overpowered divine weapons, which are forged from the gods? So, Ike gets the top spot. Listen for a second. Ike is getting this top spot because, 1, his armor is invincible. 2, he defeated the Black Knight, which is, according to my sources, almost godlike. 3, his sword was forged by a god to kill a god. So, Byleth is part god, so I figured Ike could beat Byleth several times over. Byleth and Ike are really similar, so that's why they're the top 2. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Sorry it took so long to get out. Like I said, I've been gone. Hopefully I'm going to try and get these out, like, once every 2 weeks. I'm gonna see how my summer schedule goes. And then, next time we will be talking about, the first series in Brawl, actually, which is first new series in Brawl that I have not already covered. Kid Icarus. Until next time, thank you for watching. I will see you then. If you disagree with anything that you've seen in the Fire Emblem bunch of these videos and you know more than me, please tell me in the comments below. Okay.